So here at Games Die For, we're going to do the 4 model demo for Infinity Ice Storm. The changes when you add an extra model to the Infinity game are we're adding a lieutenant, which will be the blue order. We also have models that have multiple wounds, so that's the wound marker. And we're going to definitely have some flamethrowers being shot around because we have flamethrower models. The other thing we have in this is we'll have the lieutenant, and we're going to play with the paramedic model. The paramedic will be able to bring people back from unconscious. An addition of a lieutenant order, and we have 4 orders for the 4 models. Lieutenant order is only available for the lieutenant. A couple other things we added to this, we'll go over those as they happen. To get this started up, we're going to queue up that this is an 8-inch deployment zone because it's a smaller board. This is my deployment zone over here. I'm going to play this side no matter what, even if I have the role to choose sides, just because in this it just makes it fairly simple for a demo. We're going to roll for initiative now with the Nomad player being Jared again. Jared and I both need initiative of the whip of our lieutenants.
Lower than or equal to. So I've rolled a 16, I failed, I was looking for a 13.
I rolled a 1, but I was looking for a 12. And I passed, so I will choose to go first.
And Jerry can deploy first, and we've already decided we'll just keep our side so he can be on that.
Pano side, me, Jerry's playing. This is a Fusilier. He's just kind of covering this angle over here. And we have the Fusilier paramedic. I chose the female model because she's got her gun up and it makes her look very identifiable. Then I have the Fusilier here. He's covering this area. And by the way, you might look and see that we have the little red lines on the bases because Infinity models just have a 180-degree field of fire. This guy's looking this way, so we kind of used his facing to determine where he was at. Some people want to use his gun, I want to use where he looks. And over here, I have the Orc. He's hopefully got this flanking area kind of covered, and we're going to see what we can do with him. He's my lieutenant. Jared already knows this, so it's not a big surprise order, and he has that order that only he can use.
Okay, so I've got my first Alguacil here. He's just a regular old dude, and he's got a combi, so he's going to be watching this back angle, the left side mostly. And then all 3 of my other people are on the same building here. The first is my Mobile Regatta Lieutenant, and again, Jerry knows my lieutenant, so no problem there. He's going to get that extra blue lieutenant order, and this barrier is taller than him, so he's going to see to the left and right of that. This blue-haired Alguacil is going to be my paramedic for today, so if someone else goes down, she's going to move over and try to help him out. So she's in the back right now, not really covering anywhere, just ready to move to anyone. And then on the right flank over here, the green-haired Alguacil is again a regular combi rifle guy, so he's going to watch that right flank and try to keep a tight angle for his short range.
So as a Pano player, I'm going to spend my first order, set it off to the side, and I'm going to move this Fusilier 4 inches. I'm going to hop over this barrier here, move towards this other cover. Jared will give a reply for that with his ARO, automatic reaction order.
And currently, nobody I have sees you, so I do not have an ARO.
I'm going to do the second part of my order, which is I'm going to try to get a little closer here. I'm going to move around this guy right over to here. I don't know if you see me in the second half. If you do, it would be a free reaction, but I don't think you have any at the moment.
No, I'm blocked on the stairs and by this large barrier, so I will not have any arrows on that second half either.
That'd be good. I'll spend my second order, so off to the side, on the same guy. This is the thing about Infinity. Remember, you can spend orders on the people over and over again until you run out. He's going to move forward up to this position, and I know he's going to be in a threat zone from Jared.
Alright, so I will have this Alguacil reply with 1 shot with his combi rifle. I am not able to see with anybody else yet, so that will be my only ARO.
And my second half of my order will be to shoot back. I'm going to try to take advantage of I get 3 bursts because I'm the reactive player And Jared only gets 1 burst because he's a reactive player. I do believe I'm also in the open from you because I'm not touching a piece of intervening terrain. This here, I'm not touching it. I'm touching this, but it intervenes that way, not this way.
Yeah. So I'll have 1 shot, but you will be in the open, and I'll get our range here.
Thank you.
And our range is going to be about 13.5 inches.
So we're both in our good range. We'll both get +3. But I will have a -3 because cover gives you a -3 to your shooting ballistics. So I will be flat on a 12.
And I will be +3 on my 11, so I'll be at 14.
Well, pretty good. I got 2 hits to Jared's miss and my other miss. Because I needed a 12 and he needed a 14. And I've got 1, 7, 18 to miss. 1 and 4 are a hit. In Infinity, please remember all skill tests are under your target number.
Or equal to.
Or equal to, yes.
I will have 2 saves to make. When you're saving against damage, you have to add your armor. For me, I have cover, so I'll add an additional 3. My armor is 1, and I have to beat his damage. And the damage on the combi rifle is 13. My 22 will be okay, but my 11 will not be. And my Alguacil will take a wound. He will not die, but he will go to unconscious. So my paramedic could have the ability to get him back up. So I just flipped over his order marker, and it's unconscious.
And panel player is going to spend another order token, and we're going to get really risky here. I'm going to move my orc. Right? He's going to go over here. And I don't think Jared will be able to see me. I think I'm hidden because of the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs will block you.
He'll move his second half, and he's just going to go a couple more inches. He has a 2-inch move. That means he gets to move 6 and 2, but I didn't want to move too far up, and I knew that I wanted to see if he could see me first, just in case.
I still don't see you on the second half, so no arrows here.
We're then going to spend his lieutenant order, which only he can use, and he's going to move up the stairs, get to this edge. Now, when you're elevated from other models, you get cover automatically, even if you may move across an open piece.
Using my arrow to shoot once at you with my multi-rifle, and I will use AP ammo.
Ooh.
Jerry's orc is a heavy infantry, so he does have a little more armor, so the armor-piercing round might help.
I'm going to use the same type of ammo against you and do my 3 burst. And you're going to be in cover too. Let's get a measurement on this. And it looks like we are just inside 16 inches. We're both going to get +3. We're both going to get -3. The orc will need a 14.
And the Brigada will need a 13.
The orc gets 2 hits with a 1 and an 11. And then the Brigada missed with a 17 and the orc missed with a shot.
I will have 2 saves to make. Jerry was using armor-piercing rounds, which have your armor rounded up. The Brigada has 5 armor, so I will be adding 3 armor instead. And I will have 3 additional armor from the cover I have. So I'll be adding 6. And I need to beat 13. I will have 2 15s. He will be completely fine. After you sustain or would sustain damage, but you survive, you have to make a guts check. However, the mobile Brigada has what's called courage, so he will ignore the guts check, and he'll stay right where he is.
Our last order. And with this last order, I'm going to have... So what we got here is we're going to bring this Fusilier and move him up to this corner. I'm going to try to see the Alguacil that's over there. So you may want to come to this angle. Can you see it there?
And this barrier is kind of in the way, and I'm not sure.
We're going to switch this out to the silhouette so you can see what you should see on a target. If you can see any square of the silhouette, you can see the model. And in this case, you can see that we can have quite a few squares that we can see. Because your model takes up the space of the cylinder of the silhouette.
I will take my one shot on you.
And I'll do the 3 shots on you. Might as well.
Well, I'll get the range. We are at a range we're not sure about. Inside 13 inches, 12 and a half.
Yeah.
We will both be +3 from range and -3 from our cover. So we'll both be flat on our ballistics skill. So Jerry, you need a 12. And I will need an 11.
And in this case, Jared misses entirely, and I get 3 hits.
So I will add my 1 armor that Alguacils have, and I will have 3 armor from my cover, so I'll be adding 4, trying to beat a 13. So I have a 15, a 20, and a 13, which meets the damage but does not beat the damage. So I will take a wound and go to unconscious on that Alguacil. My turn will start. I will do my order count. Currently I have 2 unconscious Alguacils. Luckily my paramedic is up. She might be able to get one or both of them back into action. Or none of them. So she'll have her order. The Brigada will generate a regular order and his lieutenant order. So I'll have 2 regulars and 1 lieutenant. I'll spin my first regular order. Alguacil paramedic, and she's gonna, at the start of her movement, she will go prone. That means she can only move half of her move value for the first section of her move value, so she will be able to move up to 2 inches. You always have to change from standing to prone at the beginning of your movement. She goes prone, and then she'll move 2 inches. And when you're prone, you're the size of your base. That will make it so Jerry's Fusilier will not see her. Jerry, I believe I've eliminated your ARO, but
You're correct.
in that case, I will spend the second half of my order using the med kit of my paramedic to try to give this guy some medicine and get him back in action. When you're in base-to-base contact as a medic, you can apply the med kit, and your target will make a physical roll, and it has to be equal to or less than their pH value on their character sheet. So for the Alguacil, it is 10 physical. And if you fail this roll, the target dies. So 10 or less. And I have a 4. My Alguacil will regain 1 wound, which he only has 1 wound to regain. He will no longer be unconscious. I unfortunately do not get his order back immediately, but if he survives until next round, he will regenerate that order. So he will no longer be unconscious, and I will take that token away. And a change in the new addition, models that you revive automatically stand up. They used to stay prone, now they automatically stand up, but he's not the active model, so that won't generate an ARO from Jerry. We've revived one of our guys. Next, I would like to spend my lieutenant order. Mobile Brigada, he's already got vision on the orc on top of the building there. So my Brigada will spend his lieutenant order, and he will activate and choose not to move anywhere, but he will generate AROs for Jerry.
My ARO is going to be to shoot. Since I have a multi-rifle, it has multiple types of ammo, I'm going to fire the double action ammo. That means if I do get a successful hit, he'll have to make 2 saves. I can also fire armor-piercing ammo at him, really, but I decided I'm going to go with the more dice rolls instead of 1 really good die.
You can't use double action with the 3 burst mode, so I will use armor-piercing rounds with my 3 shots. And we got our range earlier, but I've forgotten it. It is just inside 16 inches. So again, we will both be +3 from range, but -3 because we both have cover. So I will be flat on 13.
And I will be flat on 14.
So in this case, I have a 3, which is canceled by Jerry's 4. I have a 14, which is a miss. But I have a 13, which was my target number, which means It is a critical, which automatically cancels his 4. And I will have 1 shot go through, which is a critical, which forces Jerry to make 2 saves instead of just 1.
Yeah, in the case of criticals, you're forced to make an additional regular save. My armor is going to be a 4, so it becomes a 2, and I get +3 for cover, making I add 5 to my armor roll. I need to beat a 13, but I have to make 2 rolls because of the critical. I got 2 13s. Unlike Jared, who has courage, the orc doesn't have courage. I will have to make a guts check when I save from this roll. Yep. There. In this case, I rolled horribly, getting a 20. This means I fail the guts check, and the model must move to better cover. And if I can't reach better cover, I must go prone.
So Jerry's moved to a position that is blocked by that wall. So I'm going to use that opportunity to go on a little more of an offensive move here. I'll spend my last regular order. Remember, I was down a couple orders because I had some guys unconscious. With Jerry's orc backed up down the stairs, I will move, and Brigada can move 6 inches on his first movement, so he'll move about 5 and get to here. And I'll make sure I move to the barrier and then out. So Jerry's Fusilier will be able to see me. Jerry, what would you like to do?
Knowing that that guy has a flamethrower, I will decide to dodge.
Because we're in such good range, I do have a light flamethrower, which is a small template. I will choose to use that. It automatically hits and ignores Jerry's cover, better than using my shots here when we're this close. Jerry's dodging, and I choose to use the template. The template can be used from anywhere on my character to anywhere on his, so obviously I do hit him there.
Now this is what we call an unopposed roll. I'm doing a roll. He doesn't have a face-to-face roll with me. It's just my roll.
If Jerry successfully dodges, he will not have to make any damage saves, and if he fails his dodge, he will then have to make flamethrower saves,
which have the continuous ammo trait. That means if you fail a save, you keep rolling saves till you pass or die. So I need a 10 to dodge. I got a 5, so I dodge. This gives me a 2-inch move, which will be 1. The bases are just a little over an inch. I'm just moving a little bit, so I can't be seen. Now, this is a case where I was not hit by the weapon because I dodged out of its way, so I do not have to make a guts check, even though the template shows me being hit.
And as you can see, I have run out of orders. I pass my turn back to Jerry.
Turn 2. I have everyone up, so that's still 4 regular orders and a lieutenant order. So I'm going to first spend a regular order, and what we're going to do is, this is a really easy move. We're just going to move over here so we can see this guy, and then we're going to move back.
And so I can fire at Jerry at any point during his movement or react during any point of his movement. Now, my reaction is going to be the light flamethrower, which, as we saw, will automatically hit him, and Jerry gets to do his second action.
My second action works similar to what Jared just said. I can shoot during any time of my movement, or any point of my movement, and I'm going to choose to shoot when I can see him. And I will fire at burst 3.
So Jerry's going to fire his combi, and I'm going to fire my light flamethrower. These will not be face-to-face rolls. Jerry will just roll to see if he hits.
So in this case, both of us again have unopposed rolls. The Fusilier is going to be hit no matter what he does by the flamethrower. So he will make a save. He doesn't get a cover bonus because templates ignore cover. So he just has his armor of 1. He needs to beat a 13. And he rolls a 10, which is an 11, which is not beating a 13, which means he needs to roll again because he's on fire. And he rolls a 15, and he survives, but now he is unconscious. And the Fusilier is shooting the Mobile Brigada unopposed, so he needs a 12 to hit him because he is in cover, but yet in the good range. And he gets 1 hit with a 9. The 16 and 17 miss.
So I will make an armor save. I will add 3 for my cover, and the Mobile Brigada has 5 armor. Remember, he's a heavy infantry. So I will be adding 8, and I need to beat a 13. And a 10 will do it. That'll add up to 18. And keep in mind, I have courage, so I will choose not to make the guts check.
I'll spend my next order. This Fusilier is going to activate and move slightly.
We've already determined that my Alguacil that was unconscious can see him because you stand up when you're revived. So I will shoot one time with my combi rifle.
And I will shoot burst 3 with my combi rifle.
Let me get our range again, just for the folks at home. We are at just over 12 inches, 12 and a half-ish. So we will both be in our +3 range, and we will both be -3 because we have cover. So we'll be on our flat ballistic skill.
Which mine is 12.
And mine is 11. So my 6 will beat Jerry's 2, but Jerry has a 10 and an 8, which will beat my 6.
Meaning Jared makes 2 saves with a 4 added to it for the +1 for armor and +3 for cover.
So once again, I will make one of the saves with a 14 and fail the other, so I will return to my unconscious state.
I'm going to spend my lieutenant order, which will be spent on my lieutenant. And we're going to move from here with the 6-inch move. We know we have enough to move there since it's just 2 inches away from that wall.
In this case, I will actually choose to dodge. The Brigada is a heavy infantry, which typically have good physical, and his physical is slightly higher than his ballistics, so he'll choose to dodge.
Seems like a good plan. I'll try to shoot at burst 3 with armor-piercing ammo. I need a 14 because you're +3 for range and +3 for cover. We already know this is just under 16 inches.
And I will just be flat on a 14 for my physical. That's 2 in that one and 1 in this one. Doesn't matter.
And I get 2 hits, even though Jared has a success, because his success is less than my 2 successes.
So I will make 2 armor-piercing saves. So my armor is 5, which will go to 3, and I'll add 3 from my cover, so I'll be adding 6, and I need to beat 13 damage. And I'll have 2 18s, so I will be good to go. I have courage, so I will choose to fail the guts check. When you have courage, you can choose to succeed or choose to fail. In this case, I'm tired of Jerry shooting at me and getting more burst than me, so I'm going to make him come to me if he wants it. So I'll move 2 inches this way.
Next order, and it's going to be on the Fusilier over here. And he's going to move just slightly around this corner and peek and look at that mobile Brigada, who's also in cover.
Yep, my gun kind of sticks out, but I am meant to be touching that barrier, of course. In this case, Jerry is a little bit worse of a shot, and he's not using armor-piercing ammo, so I will choose to shoot here with my multi-rifle, and I'll use my double-action ammo.
Ooh. And what we have is I'm going to use my burst 3 and hope that I can just outroll you in a number of dice.
We haven't gotten this range before, so let me grab that for us. We are about 12 and a half here, too. We'll both be in our +3 range. We'll both be -3 because we both have cover. Flat ballistics again. So Jerry will be on a 12. I will be on a 13. All right. And in this case, Jerry has a couple of 4s and a 6, and I have a 6. So our 6s cancel out, and my 6 cancels both his 4s, and nothing happens.
That was pretty much a moot point for my poor guy there. So with my last order, I'm going to do something a little different. I'll see if I can kill my own model. I'm going to activate my paramedic, who moves 4 inches, and we're going to move all the way up here. We're going to get down here, and I'm going to have to look and see. I'm double checking to see if I can see that base of the Fusilier back there, and I can, because he's prone because he is unconscious, and I'm going to shoot a med kit at them. I think of this as a needle gun just trying to shoot syringes. And we're going to check the range here.
Med kits have a pretty short range.
And it is a 6.5-inch shot, so it's going to be in the good range. Get +3 to hit my model. It doesn't have cover, because cover even applies when you're shooting at your friendly, because I'm shooting at no intervening terrain in between us that he's touching. I get a +3 to my 12, meaning I need a 15. I get a 3, so it's a hit. The Fusilier that has been hit with the medkit makes a physical, which is 10, unmodified to try to come back from unconscious. And he gets a 6, so he is no longer unconscious. Let's take that away. And I have all my guys functioning again. Jared's turn 2.
Jerry keeps sending that one guy to unconscious. Jerry has sent my Auxil back to the unconscious state. So I will once again have one regular order for the paramedic and one regular order for the mobile brigada, and the brigada will generate his own lieutenant order. First, I will use my lieutenant order, and I've noticed that Jerry left his Fusilier hanging out on the side of that building over there, and he's going to let me get some shots on him.
Oh no!
So Jerry, what would you like to do?
I will try to dodge because you're going to pummel me with shots from that guy.
And I will use my multi-rifle and send 3 shots at you. I will use shock ammo. Shock ammo means that if it deals a wound and you're a 1-wound model, you die. You do not go to the unconscious state.
Ooh, I actually forgot about that.
We were under 16 inches, so we will both be in our +3 range. Or, I'm sorry, I will be in my +3 range. Jerry, you're dodging on a 13 ballistics because you have cover.
I'll be on a 10 for my dodge. Well, I dodged horribly.
And I have 2 hits with an 11 and a 9. My 15 does miss, so Jerry will make 2 saves.
I will get cover and have my armor of 1, so I'll have a 4 to this roll, needing to beat a 13. I fail one of them, and as Jared said, if you fail from a shock weapon, you die. So this model is removed from play.
You fail both of them. You're double dead. So I'll spend a regular order on my paramedic. She's already prone next to the guy, and she will attempt to paramedic him once again. This guy's had some rough luck lately, getting shot twice like that. He will make a flat physical roll. His physical is 10.
To help out, I have no AROs because I cannot see this model anymore because Jared killed that guy with lots of shack ammo.
And I critically succeed at reviving. Once again, my model will be active. He will not generate his order to the pool until my next turn, but he's alive, and that's what's important. And I have one last regular order left. I think I'll spend it on my brigada. Was able to nail down that other guy. So what I'm going to do is a good old 2-inch out and then 2-inch back. Jerry will have a reaction here.
And I'll shoot at the model for my arrow where he was.
I will fire my 3... I assume you're going to use double action.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm going to use double action.
Double action is a great tool when you're in reactive to make them make 2 saves if you do get a hit. But I am the active player, so I will use my armor-piercing rounds again, and I'll get 3 of them. Nowhere inside 16 inches, so we'll both be +3, -3 from cover. And I will get 3 shots to Jerry's 1 shot.
And I will be a 14.
And I will be a 13. Unfortunately,
again,
Jerry rolled a 7, and my highest roll is a 7. So his 7 cancels out my lower rolls, and our 7s cancel each other. So nothing happens. And that was my last order, so it'll go over to Jerry's turn 3. Now I haven't left any targets out in the open as much this time. Maybe he'll have to move up.
So in my turn now, I only have 3 regular orders and lieutenant order, because one of mine I can't even bring back because that model was removed from play. So we're going to kind of throw it all in here. This is my last turn. I feel that the mobile brigada has to be dealt with. I'm going to spend my first regular order. It's going to be on this Fusilier, and he's going to kind of move around this building, and we're going to go this way.
Believe that the brigada is within 8 inches of that Fusilier, which means Jerry's in my zone of control, which means even though I cannot see him, I can react with a dodge. And if I am successful in my dodge, I can move up to 2 inches, just like a normal dodge. And this dodge will be at -3 because I cannot see my target. He's out of my line of fire. But if I succeed, I might be able to dodge and see Jerry as he's moving over here.
My second half is going to be to move again. Since there's no one that can see me, I feel like I can engage you very closely and it may make a difference. And we're going to move 4 inches and get right up here, not to where he sees us, but just outside.
Pretty obviously within 8. It's actually just around 4 inches. Make my dodge roll. Physical -3. So my physical is 14, so I will be on an 11. And I actually fail, so unfortunately I don't get a free movement. But luckily I'm already facing towards Jerry, so no real harm done.
I'll spend my second order. And I'm going to do something really risky and try to get up on this Mobile Brigada. My Fusilier is going to move up to where you can see the Mobile Brigada. Probably not a great thing to do, but I feel like the risk might pay off.
And I feel like my flamethrower might pay off, so I'm going to blast Jerry in the face with it.
Seems deadly.
So, I mean, what's your second half going to be before I...
Mine, I'm going to fire the burst 3 and just hope for the best.
Jerry's obviously going to be within his good range. And I will blast him with this template with the flamethrower. So, again, it will not be a face-to-face roll. Jerry will roll his shots against me and make a save against the flamethrower.
Yep. So I need, in this case, I can see all of you in the open, I believe.
Yeah, and for those at home, the Brigada does have a very forward-pointing gun. It is my intention, and Jerry knows this, that I will be up against this cover, but he's come around so far that he can see enough of me that it won't give me cover.
I see the entire model from the whole silhouette of the model. So in this case, I'm not blocked.
Right. Jerry will be +3 on his ballistics.
I'm hoping this pays off with a 15 to hit. That looks like 3 good hits.
3 solid hits for Jerry.
So 3 saves might make a difference for me.
So I'll do my saves first, then we'll get to that flamethrower. So I will not have cover, so I will not add 3 from that, but the Brigada does have 5 armor on his own.
That's rough.
Trying to beat a 13. And I succeed gloriously with my lowest being an 18.
Yeah, that seems really good. I will have to make a save with my +1 to my armor for the flamethrower, and I need to beat a 13.
Yep, and I have courage, so keep that in mind. I will choose not to go anywhere. So, Jerry, let's see that flamethrower save.
Flamethrower save. A 14. I pass.
He makes it.
I am alive. But in this case, I was hit by enemy shooting, and I did survive. I will have to make a guts check. My guts is just, with a willpower of 12, is mediocre at best. But good enough. And I will choose to stay there. I'm going to spend my last regular order on the same Fusilier. And he's going to do something really dumb. He's going to fight the big guy on the other side, being a basic trooper. He's going to move up into base-to-base contact. What is your ARO, Jared?
Keep in mind, I can react to Jerry at any point during his movement. Even though the flamethrower is not usable in melee combat, I will blast Jerry with the flamethrower as he runs towards me.
And I'm going to try to stab you with my knife. These are unopposed rolls. Flamethrower will be a save for the Fusilier, and the Fusilier is getting an unopposed try to strike the Mobile Brigada with a knife.
Jerry, what's your close combat skill?
13.
13.
It's better than my shooting.
There's no modifiers to this particular roll, so 13.
That is a 20, and a 20 will miss entirely.
Jerry can't even hit a stationary target with a knife.
And I will see how much I burn.
Jerry has 1 armor, but he makes the flamethrower.
Make the flamethrower roll. I am in combat, though, so I do not have to take a guts check. I am touching the Mobile Brigada and keeping him engaged. This is the one thing. I am tying him up, allowing my other models to react. We're going to go to the Lieutenant order. My Orc is going to spin that. Now, in most normal games, we'll kind of cover this really quickly. You don't want to reveal your Lieutenant because it's secret information, but in this particular case, we're playing with the demos, and we know who each other's Lieutenant is. We're going to step down 4 inches here, and we'll go an inch this way, and we'll go an inch that way. And then for this guy to go on, Jared doesn't have any reactions because I tied up the model. I can see him.
Yep, keep in mind Jerry's movement value is 6'2".
Stay just like...
He doesn't quite make it to that cover, though.
Not quite in the cover, but it'll pay off. I have faith that my guy has your guy completely tied up.
Uh-huh. Me too. Me too.
Your sarcasm is not missed here.
So that was Jerry's final turn. He is not going to get another one. We'll go to my order count. Was able to revive that guy once again. So I will have 2 Alguacils, 1 being a paramedic, and I will have the Brigada up. So I will have 3 regular orders, and the Brigada will generate his lieutenant order. Right now, the Brigada is in a heated, you get it, flamethrower, it's heated. Our
cameraman just lost it right there.
A heated melee exchange. So I'll spend my lieutenant order, and Jerry, I'm going to activate that Brigada.
I'm going to fight back with my shank.
So my Brigada will also pull out his shank, try to stab Jerry. I have a little bit better close combat skill than Jerry at a 17. Again, we're only at 1 burst because we're just fighting in hand-to-hand combat. Jerry, what was yours again?
Mine's a 13.
And my close combat's a 17. So I will hit Jerry with a 12.
I'm amazed I hit with a 7. But it's a miss because your face-to-face beat mine.
Yep, I will cancel Jerry's. For melee, your damage is based on your physical. The Brigada has physical 14. So Jerry will have to make a damage 14 save, and he can only use his armor.
So I get a +1 to beat your 14. My 2 will not help in any way, shape, or form. That's a 3. Your 14 definitely punches through me, making my model unconscious. This poor Fusilier is unconscious. He has been beaten up in hand-to-hand combat.
So that went well for me. Brigada is now freed up. He doesn't have to dodge out of the melee combat or anything. He just punched that dude in the face. So I will spend one of my regular orders on the Brigada, and he's going to shuffle to the left here. He can move up to 6 inches on his first half. He'll shuffle to the left here, just a couple inches. He can move up to 6. So I will scoot to the left, and Jerry will be able to see me with the orc there.
I will see you and call dodge with my 14, because you're in cover.
Use my multi-rifle and shoot 3 armor-piercing rounds at you. Let me get our range. Yep, Jerry didn't quite make it to that barrier, so he is in the open. We're at 14 inches right now.
Definitely in your plus range. You're going to be a 16 with 3 shots, and I'm going to be a 14 with 1 roll on a dodge. Hey, I succeeded with a 7.
But I succeeded with a 14 and a 9. Your 7 will beat my 3, though. So Jerry will be making 2 armor-piercing saves.
That's correct. My armor is 4, which becomes 2. I had this trying to beat a 13.
Yep, he doesn't have cover.
But I make it. No courage, so I still have to make a guts check. In this case, I will choose to fail immediately, allowing me to make a 2-inch move to better cover, which will take me over here to better cover.
I've got 2 orders left. I got Jerry's orc kind of on the run right now. I will spend another order on that Brigada. The Brigada will activate, and he's going to move 5.5 inches this way.
I don't have any reaction to you. I'm going to see if... I'm going to attempt a dodge. Go ahead. I'm going to attempt a dodge with this guy. You may be within 8. Probably not, but I'm going to attempt it. If you are, I'll get a reaction.
And I'm actually just going to stay right there on my second half. I'm not going to choose to do anything.
We'll check the range and see if I can do a dodge. I have to be within 8. I am at 8.5, so just out, so I actually get no reaction.
Alright, I have one last regular order. I'll spend it on that Brigada. He's been my star player. And he's going to move forward just a bit so that that angle is under his height. And then he's going to climb over.
And the Fusilier paramedic will decide to shoot at you since you are in the open.
Yep, I'll be climbing over that stair. And what about the orc over there?
The orc will decide to do a dodge again since he can't see you, but I do believe that extra little bit you moved made you inside his zone of control, which is 8 inches.
And in my case, I don't see the orc, so I will put all 3 shots onto the Fusilier, and I will use that shock ammo again. Those Fusiliers only have 1 wound. So I'll get our range here, or my range to the Fusilier. Can you...
That looks like 12.
12 inches? And then for you, obviously,
I am
under 8
7.5
now. Yep. So I'll be in my good range on that Fusilier. She will have cover because she's against an angled piece of terrain between me and her. So I will be +3, -3. So I'll be flat on my 13 ballistics.
And I will be +3 because you're in the open and in the good range. So she will be a 15.
So I critically strike with a 13, and I have a 9, which cancels Jerry's 6, and Jerry's 6 cancels my 3. So Jerry will actually make 3 saves, 2 from the crit and 1 from the 9 against damage 13.
That's correct. And I get a +4 to that, trying to beat a 13. I get 1 success because 9 + 4 = 13 does not beat it, and 6 + 4 is 10, which does not beat 13 either. So that's 2. So the paramedic goes down.
But even if she had only failed one of those, that shock ammo would have killed her either way. Jerry has a free dodge with that orc over there.
He needs a 14. -3 because of the not seeing the target.
But you got a 2.
A 2 passes. He gets a free dodge, and just for the heck of it, he's going to move this and get over into a better position right here. But that was the last order of the game. So in this particular case, there's an orc left, but you have a mobile brigada.
And I have a regular Alguacil and my paramedic Alguacil still alive.
So since this is just a simple kill mission, Nomads win.
Yep, I had 3 models to Jerry's 1. So it was a close game until that very end. I forced Jerry to move up and deal with me rather than move to him. Jerry's got a little bit better ballistics than the Nomad, so I know shooting at range against him is not in my favor.
There we go. Looks like a good. If there's any questions, please hit us up in the comments, and be glad to hear from anybody about future battle reports you'd like to see us do, because battle reports are coming soon. Next, we'll be doing the 5 model. Hey everyone, thanks for watching our show. If you want to help us grow, click the like and subscribe buttons below.